Touchdown Alabama magazine and 14 County analyst Stephen M. Smith, reporting live from outside the Melmore Athletic Facility. With all the hustle and bustle that's going around about campus, and with this being the 4th Saturday in October, these two aspects can only mean one thing. It is homecoming for the Alabama Crimson Tide. But as we all know, homecoming is not complete without a victory by the host team in the homecoming game. The Alabama Crimson Tide is right now in preparation, getting ready to take on Mississippi State and head coach Dan Mullen this Saturday, October the 27th, 2012, here at Bryant Stadium at 7:30 p.m. Let's go live to the action.
This has been a really good, hard work week for us. This is a difficult preparation on both sides of the ball. Mississippi State's obviously a very good team. Anybody that's undefeated at this point in the season and ranked 11th in the BCS has obviously earned their stripes. They've got some very good players, and they played with a lot of consistency as a team. They're a physical, tough team that They do a lot of things on both sides of the ball that create a lot of adjustment issues for us, and the players have worked hard to focus on those things. We've still got some work to do, but I've been pleased with the way we've, kind of gone about what we need to do. We're playing a really good team. This is really the first, home game that we've had where we're playing a team that is really a ranked team, and we haven't played our best football at home. I think we really kind of played our best football on the road for whatever reasons. I've addressed that with the players, but I'm hopeful that we'll have the kind of excitement and enthusiasm in the stadium that will help our players from an emotional standpoint, and also make it difficult for them, who they are a no-huddle team again. So maybe we can affect their communication a little bit with some of the noise and inspiration that our fans can give our players. I'd like to take a minute to congratulate Barrett Jones, a National Scholarship athlete, one of 15 guys. The last one we had was Greg McElroy, as a tremendous honor from the National Football Foundation. I think one of the greatest honors you can receive, and certainly something that we're pleased and happy that Barrett is getting recognized for, all the positive things that he does personally, academically, and athletically. We don't have any injuries or anything like that to report. We've still got guys that are, like always at this point in the season, working their way through, trying to get ready so that we can play our best football, and that's what we're focused on trying to do with everyone on our team.
One of the compliments that you used to pay Julio Jones was that he could fast enough to go long, tough enough to go over the middle, quick enough to catch screens and do something with it. He could do everything there was to do at the receiver position. I know better than to ask you to compare anybody that you have now to him, but do you have anybody on this team receiver-wise? Now, I wouldn't. But versatility-wise, do you have some guys that seem to be able to do lots of different things route-wise like Julio did?
What do you think? I mean, you're obviously asking a leading question, so.
You know him better than I do.
Well, you see the game just like I do, don't you? Look, our receivers have really worked hard this year as a group, and I think we've improved, and we've had to overcome a lot of adversity at that position. We lost two guys, one starter and one guy that would have been in the two deep for sure, coming out of spring practice, who was a very explosive, productive player. So, we've worked, we've had a couple freshmen that have worked hard and made a significant contribution. And I think both of those guys have a tremendous amount of potential. I also think that, and they have been productive in whatever we've asked them to do. I also think that the older guys have been very consistent in the way they've played and performed, and we're hopeful that they'll have some of that same kind of production, whether it's Christian Jones or Kevin Norwood or Kenny Bell or any of those guys. So as a group, I think it's important that those guys stay positive and focused, and that we're able to utilize all their talents moving forward.
Coach, if you could just talk about just how happy you are with the tandem, the Eddie Lacy, TJ Eldman become both rushing for over 500 yards at this point in the season, and then also just your reaction the first time you saw Eddie's spin move.
Eddie's what?
Spin move?
Well, Eddie's been spinning forever since I've known him, so I can't recall the first time, but it's been a long time ago. But it's just a part of his style, for his size, that he has really good quickness, and he's really sudden, change direction, especially in a hole or to make somebody miss. And spin move is something that a lot of people used to use as a runner, and something that you don't see a lot now, but you have to have really good balance and body control and quickness to do it, and he's done a good job of that. I knew it would be important, especially when we lost, two runners that were both making a contribution, to this year's team, that these two guys would have to be sort of a tandem that carries the load. And we've been fortunate to have, a couple guys each year that's been able to do that spell the others, that keep each other fresh, and both are very productive. And I'm very pleased with the way those two guys have complemented each other this year, and both of them have had very productive performances, and in the last couple games, they both look like they're sort of coming into their stride.
Just wonder, when you were putting together this 2012 class, did you anticipate that they would be contributing as much this year, or are there different feelings with each class going in on how much they might have to contribute?
Well, I just think that there's a lot of opportunity created when you have big senior classes. You know, you don't really have the numbers that, you know, when you lose 23 seniors. I mean, we had a lot more freshmen contribute in 2010 because we had 26 seniors in 2009. So, you know, they start out a little closer to the top. So they have an opportunity to make contribution in a lot of ways. They end up playing on special teams. This is probably the most guys that we've had. We like the class. We think there's a lot of good players. There's some good players that aren't playing, that are possibly being redshirted. If we can get through the season without needing them. So I'm really pleased with this group and how they've contributed and the maturity they've shown to be able to contribute.
Coach, this is a Mississippi State team that's been in hard times for almost a decade. They're trying to rebuild the program a little bit. They see this as, you know, one of the biggest games in their history. Can you talk about maybe the dangers of facing that, a team that's trying to get over that hump, and do you address that with the players?
Well, look, they're a very good team, all right, and they were a very good team last year when we played them. You know, we try to stay focused on what we need to do to play our best. You know, we can't control what they do. We can't control what they're trying to prove. We don't have any control over that. We have control over how we think, what we do, how we do it, how we compete in the game. And I think that's the most important thing, you know, for our team. Now, we respect them tremendously as a program and a team. And make no mistake about that. I think this is the best team we've played, you know, to this point. And they compete hard and they play hard, and I have a tremendous amount of respect for their coach, their program, and everything that they've done. But, you know, and we think we'll get their very best game, no doubt. But saying all that, what's that got to do with how we play? You know, we should be trying to play the best that we can play because of what we have at stake, what we want to accomplish, what we want to do, what's important to us.
From the start of spring practice until now, through preseason camp and everything, just how smooth has the transition gone for Barrett Jones from other positions to center?
I don't think he's ever really struggled at all. You know, he's such a bright guy, and he's got great resiliency and adaptability, and he's very flexible in what he can do, and has the confidence that he can do it. So, you know, he played a position some last year, so it wasn't like totally new to him. He sort of anticipated that this was going to happen, so it wasn't any psychological surprise to him. And I think the kind of person he is, he just, you know, sets his mind to being the best that he can be at whatever position he's playing, and that's how he approached this. And he's worked hard to become a complete player at the position, and he's played extremely well for us all year long.
You've mentioned before about how you would assign a point value to turnovers, like a fumble and interception can be worth 3.7 points to your team, and that your player, that's a good way to get your players to buy into it. Do you remember how you came up with that idea, or did it come from someone else?
Well, just about everything I do came from someone else. I mean, I don't have any patents or credit for inventing anything in this game or in anything else. So, and I can't really remember. I think it might have been with in the NFL someplace that I was coaching with somebody that, you know, we started to do that. They keep a lot of statistical data on a lot of things, and that was one of the things that I thought was really interesting. You know, when you sort of can put a numerical value to the consequences of a turnover or getting a turnover. So that's something that we've always done. I think our players relate to that extremely well.
I'm Chief of Sky Sports UK. How important is a game on a homecoming weekend to the university and the town?
Well, I think that, you know, homecoming is a very traditional concept that gives everyone an opportunity to come back and sort of have the opportunity to remember some of the great times that they had here, to sort of reincarnate their sort of passion and tradition for, you know, the university, the memories that they have, the good times that they had, the pride that they have in the institution, and it's an opportunity to come back and sort of reacquaint yourselves with a lot of people and some of those feelings. So we have a tremendous amount of respect, you know, for that, and everyone's opportunity to do that. But we also realize that it's only going to be a happy homecoming if we have success on the field. So it still always comes back to that. So our focus is always on what do we need to do to get our team to play the best. And, you know, we're working hard at trying to do that so that we can get them ready to go against a very good team.
And with that tradition in mind, how good is this Crimson Tide side
Is our team?
by comparison?
Well, I don't really like to compare them to anything. I think that there's still a lot of football to play. I think that, you know, the full body of work, you know, that you do determines, you know, sort of what your legacy is as a team. So we have some really tough games, you know, coming up, starting this weekend. And if we can get through that gauntlet, then I think this team will have proven one way or the other what their legacy should be as a team. So they've put themselves in a position, you know, like I said on Monday, to, you know, the race may be 200 meters. You know, we're probably at about the 140. It'd be nice if it was only a 140-meter race, but it's not. So we got everybody running right on our heels. So you got to finish, and you got to finish it the right way, and you got to finish strong, and you got to have the mental toughness and conviction, perseverance, resiliency, you know, to continue to do things at a high standard to be able to accomplish those things against very good teams.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Just talk about what honor it is being named a scholar athlete.
Well, academics is something I put a big emphasis on, and the Campbell Trophy is something that is has a lot of history with it. It's a huge honor. I feel very blessed to have this opportunity and very grateful to all the people who helped me get here. It's going to be a really cool deal, and I'm really looking forward to going to New York and getting to meet all the people who are associated with it.
Talk a little bit about homecoming and what this weekend is for you guys.
Well, I mean, it's a Mississippi State game, to be honest. You know, we don't really put a whole lot of focus on homecoming, to be honest with you.
Coach Saban talked a little bit about how Mississippi State does the no-huddle offense. What is that like for you guys going up against them?
Well, I think we've tried to simulate that some in practice as an offense, kind of do some of that no-huddle stuff to get them ready.
Talk about the offense in general, just how balanced you have been so far, and how important that's going to be against Mississippi State, who's got a good secondary as well.
Certainly, balance is something we really strive to attain this year, and I feel we've done a good job being able to throw and run it. So AJ's done a really good job all year of being able to make big plays on the field when he needed to. So certainly, balance is important.
Can you talk about trying to play better at home than you have been? Because Coach Saban in here mentioned that you guys have played better on the road for some reason than you have at home.
I think, at home there just are a few more distractions maybe, and we just need to learn to better handle that. One more here.
Just how important is it to be a student athlete?
I'd say it's pretty important, Todd.
Can you tell me why?
Well, I think that's why we came here, is to be a student athlete and not just to play football and getting a great free education. So I hope to take it.
First off, what you've seen on film just from the Mississippi State defense?
They're overall good defense. They're really good corners. Definitely going to be a challenge for us. But our guys are working hard this week, preparing well, and we're ready for it. And we know it's going to be a tough one, but just gotta go out there and execute and do what we're supposed to do, and everything will be fun.
Your name's coming up in the Heisman talk. What does that mean to you? And do you even think about it?
I'm not worried about it. Really doesn't mean anything, I guess, until the very end. And also, I think it shows if anybody's name on any team, I think it shows how great their teammates are. It's not an individual award. I know people label it as that, but it's definitely a team award. And it's an honor to be put in that category, but all the credit goes to my teammates.
Ever since the BCS title win against LSU, you continue to do the little things right, continue to remain efficient. Just talk about how you're going to continue to keep being efficient and keep doing the little things right to help the team keep going forward.
I mean, I'm not doing anything special. I'm just got to keep taking what the defense gives me. Some Coach Saban's kind of instilled in me, and he's taught me that throughout my career. And Coach Nuss has done a great job of coaching me the right way and telling me what to take when defense are playing certain ways, and I think that's a reflection of how great our coaches are here. They put you in the right situation. You just got to do what you're told.
Go ahead.
We know Mississippi State's a real physical team. Compared to the game y'all played last year against them, are you preparing differently this season than you were last season for the same team?
No, I mean, we know they're a tough bunch. They always play us tough. And anybody we play all season long, we're always going to get everybody's A game. It's just the way it is. And I mean, they're undefeated for a reason because they're a really good team. So we got to come out and be on our A game and on top of everything. And it's going to be a 60-minute fight.
You talk about how special it is to have a guy like Yeldon and Cooper, the tandem, and especially just being freshmen, AJ, how well they've performed this year for you.
I think a lot of freshmen have stepped up on both sides of the ball. And then freshmen that don't really get their names out there that do a great job for us in special teams. Whether it's, punt return or kickoff return or punt coverage, kick coverage. We got a bunch of freshmen that stepped up. It's not just two guys. I mean, those guys stand out more just because, they're on one side of the ball most of the time. So, well, I mean, that's what you need to have success as a team. You're going to need the young guys to step up and make plays, and our freshman class has done a great job.
After a good and intense day of practice, along with Coach Saban's press conference and player interviews, the Alabama Crimson Tide is ready to take on the Mississippi State Bulldogs this Saturday at Bryant-Denny Stadium. After being asked by the media about the importance of this game, Coach Saban responded with, "Mississippi State is a good football team, and I honestly believe that they're going to give us their best game. It is up to us as a team to bring our A game to the table." He added about although homecoming is important, the only way homecoming is successful is that the home team, being the Alabama Crimson Tide this week, plays exceptionally well and comes out with a win. The question for the Tide being, can they maintain an undefeated season, a perfect record, and get through homecoming successful, or will the Mississippi State Bulldogs and the fighting head coach, Dan Mullen, be able to spoil a perfect season, a homecoming, and a potential national championship opportunity for the Crimson Tide? We will see on this Saturday, October the 27th, when the Tide battles the Bulldogs. For all of us here at Touchdown Alabama Magazine, I'm Stephen M. Smith with 14th County, reporting live from outside the Melmore facility.